So, after, I don't know, 2 hour, 40 minute, 150 mile drive from Northamptonshire to Kent, we got here last night. We stopped at Morrison's and we got ourselves a Morrison's 3-course Valentine's meal for 2. And then we stopped at the chip shop to get fish and chips for last night. Meal for 2's for tonight. And got back. Jackie's Saveloy was missing. Goodness me. Never heard the end of that. And then, yeah, the room's quite interesting. It's kind of quite nice and tidy. Random £40 left on the side from who? Last person, I don't know. Half a toilet roll and an empty toilet roll core. Kind of weird. Spilt milk and dog hairs in the fridge. You know, that was right. Nice view though. Nice view. Have a look. Beautiful view this morning when we got it. Let the sun in. Yeah, I can't actually open the window because there's 6 inches between it and the fence of the neighbouring property. What else? Oh yeah, the oven as part of the apartment. Yeah, that meal for 2 is going to be a struggle because the oven is a microwave. Anyway, we can do some stuff today. Check out the rest of the video, and tomorrow we're picking up that snake. Walk down the road from Herne Bay. Tide's out. Okay, so we've picked up the surprise snake from Dale. What a lovely chap he is. And I'll tell you a bit more about him and the snake later. That's the surprise snake. Strangely, exactly on our way home without any detour whatsoever, we're now picking up another surprise snake. Not a randomite like the first one. This one's actually part of our king snake colubrids breeding project. It's a female for a male I've been looking for quite some time. Jackie was snoozing last night. I was just looking down some adverts and just by chance actually saw this snake that will make a great part of the team. So we're now detouring, we're not detouring, we're stopping on the way home to meet another great guy, and I'll tell you why he's a great guy later in the video. Keep watching. We're back. Whew. Not bad. Rosa okay. Jackie's getting the dogs out of the car. Snake's in the warm. I'm going to go and unload the van and then get the kit in and tell you more about them. And you know what? I'm going to tell you the story of these 2 snakes and the people they came from. So the snake we didn't go to get, that I kind of saw and then thought, you know what? This is ridiculous. It's a female for a male I've been looking for quite some time. and it's literally on the way home. So I'm going to show you that. It's a, what is it? It's a grey banded king snake. We're looking for a female for ages. She's 4 years old, so brilliant. Our males are at least a year, if not two, away from being at breeding age. Grey banded king snake. We've got a lovely pair of those now, which is fantastic. But let me tell you about the story of this snake. So, lovely young chap. He's got 2 king snakes. One's the grey banded king snake, and he's had them for 4 or 5 years between them. They're his pets in his bedroom. Absolutely adores them. But he's going travelling for over a year. Doesn't trust anyone in his family, as you guys know if you keep snakes. Decided he's going to let them go, finish keeping pets and animals and such like for now, and go on his travels, seeing these things in the wild amongst whatever it is young people get up to as they go through Southeast Asia and beyond. What makes James a really great chap in my eyes is, I saw the advert, sent him a message, said, is it still for sale? And what's the postcode? Thinking, you know, you never know. It might be in a ballpark area. We're going to travel up through England on our way home the next day today. And he said, yes, you know, this is where I am. I said, that's fine. He said, but I've got some questions for you. So I sent him some links to, like, of who you are, and if I wanted to go to good home is what he's saying. So I sent him some links to what I do. And he comes straight back and he said, right, sorry to waste your time, but I see you breed snakes. I don't want her to go to a breeder. I want her to be loved and looked after and cared for. So you do get, people do have, I guess some breeders are bum holes, but you know, you get that sort of visual image, I guess some people do, that if you say a dog breeder, you think of a puppy farmer, not necessarily someone that really is fascinated and loves a certain breed of dog, and so on and so forth. And that's what that was his mind was made up. No, you breed your snakes, I don't want to go for breeding. That's absolutely fine. It's his animal, of course, and his opinion. So I sent him a text, thanks very much, no problem whatsoever, kind of thing. And then it turns out that James sort of looked through some of the stuff I do, realised that I do really love and I'm passionate about these animals. And then half an hour later, he could have pinged me another text, said, I am going travelling. And he said, you know what? I've had so many inquiries for this snake. She's been advertised for 4 months and I've just not let her go to anyone because when I vet people, they're just not suitable. And he said, but having thought about the breeding thing and looked at what else you do, I can see she's going to go to a good home. I would like you to come and get her if you're interested. And you know, what a great bloke. What a great attitude, really. He really this snake has to go, but he's on the wire and he's still thinking, nah, do you know what? There's probably someone better for my snake. And I think that is actually, you know, it wasn't great for me at the time, was it? Because I'd made my mind up, but what a great attitude to have. And I'll tell you a bit more about Dale, whose snake we actually went to get, because a similar loving, caring reptile owner as well. So how did I come to get in touch with Dale? Turns out Dale's been watching my YouTube channel for quite some time, biased on the falconry side of things. He's been flying his first falconry bird for this season only, and amongst a couple of other channels, he's been watching my channel to try and learn as much as he can before and during owning his first falconry bird. Obviously, he enjoys that, and again, hopefully he realises I'm a good guy. And he got in touch with me via an Instagram message and said, Dave, I've got this snake. I've been advertising this snake for sale. We're moving house. We're downsizing. I could do with a space. And he said, to be honest, the falconry just took over my animal interest, and the snake's not getting the interaction that he feels it deserves. And he said, I've had the snake advertised for sale again for quite some time. And he said, all I'm getting is people that are saying things like, well, I'll give you 100 quid for the whole lot, mate, which is really common, like chancing their arm. Bearing in mind, Dale paid £500 for this snake as a hatchling from a breeder up in Scotland, and then had a custom-sized enclosure built for his space. And people offer him silly money. And then other people saying, I'll have it if you can deliver it. And he, like me, and I'm sorry if you're not like this, but feels if you really want an animal, you're going to get it yourself, or you'd certainly arrange a top-level courier. You're not going to just say, I'll have it if you deliver it. If you are one of those people, it's the wrong attitude to have, to be honest. These aren't items to be bargained around. These are living things, and if you can't be bothered to make the effort to get it yourself, it would put me off selling to you one of my hatchling snakes. And he's got so fed up with this attitude of just people trying to bargain him, because it is a low ebb of selling reptiles right now. Things don't have a value. People are getting rid of them willy-nilly, and they're all worried about the electricity costs, mostly wrongly, one pet snake isn't going to make a lot of difference. Of course, if you can't afford it, you are on the breadline, of course. Everything makes it, every penny counts. And he actually got in touch with me through Instagram and said, Dave, if you could look after this snake, I want to give you her enclosure and everything for nothing. And I said, sorry, Dad, I'd love to help you, but I can't even have her here to rehome. I haven't got the space. A few days later, I was thinking, I thought, you know what? I don't want a reticulated python. I had them when I was a teenager. And I thought, I'm really not someone that's into fancy colour morphs of snakes anyway. But for some reason, I think it was Dale's attitude and really wanting to find a good home for that animal. And I was looking at the photos he sent. I thought, you know, yeah, it's kind of nothing I'd pick. And yet for that reason, it kind of makes it quite interesting. The red herring, if you like. That's not the right word, is it? I forgot them. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh, it'll pop in when I stop filming. But yeah, not maverick. Oh, pop in there. That kind of thing that you just think, that's not my thing. But you know what? I actually like it. But great, another person who's actually gave it all away. Hundreds of pounds worth of stuff. Something he's cared for, but he's given it away because he'd rather it goes to a good home than someone that's going to bargain him down. And you know what? Can't even put the effort in to sort out coming to collect it from him in the first place. So fantastic. And as I told both of these guys, two things. If you change your mind, you want them back. They're always here. You can always have them back. And number three, I don't buy and sell. I don't flip, as we say in America, I don't flip snakes and reptiles. Yes, I sell snakes. I breed snakes to further my interest, further the ability for others to have these amazing animals. And I sell them, and that money goes back into the project here. But I certainly don't buy and sell and that kind of thing. So they know they're in good hands. They know they're going to be here to stay, or if they're not, they're going to have them back. Anyway, let's have a look at these two very different, fantastic examples of two fantastic species of snakes. So here we are, the snake we didn't go to get this weekend. Beautiful female, grey-banded king snake. Fully mature female. Our male's way off catching her up. Beautiful, beautiful snake. Grey-banded king snakes coming in their various wild phases. Have to be one of the most iconic snakes for herpers, people that go hunting and looking for wild reptiles, and for people that keep and work with snakes in captivity. Grey-banded king snakes are an absolute icon, and you can see why. Look at this absolute glorious creature. Now, in a recent video, I told you I'd reset up one of our enclosures for the smaller blue beauty snake. She's been moved out because I promised the guy that she would be kept in an enclosure as big as she has been and not in a rack or a rub. I promised him she'd be on display. I'm a man of my word. So this absolutely delightful creature has got a good rocky backdrop, perfectly the sort of snake you'd find herping on rocky cuttings and rocky crags at night. So a naturalistic enclosure. She's lucky, hers is ready to go now, and we're going to work around all of our enclosures here and start setting them up to give these snakes, I guess really, they don't care, I don't think, but the wonderful backdrop that they deserve. So let's pop her up here. Away she goes, plenty of hiding places. Nice hot spot under that hide, a couple of this side, and a rocky backdrop she can climb around at night time. I think she's going to have a whale of a time, probably doing very little in there. But let me show you guys the snake that you actually, or we actually went to get. Enjoy the rest. Here's the original creature we went for. This is Dale's snake, and this is a 2-year-old golden child, white albino, 50% super dwarf reticulated python. You can see why I'm not into my morphs. I can't even remember all the things, but there you go. So quite a special snake. super dwarf genes. Changed this from the reticulated pythons I used to keep, and those guys would grow fast and rapid. This snake's 2 years old, and let me just show you the size of this snake. Perfectly fed, absolutely solid muscle, fit, strong and healthy, but not fat and bloated like many of these big snakes get. Even my black-headed pythons are porky, and yet not starved. 50% super dwarf genes, much smaller total size and slower growing. Reticulated pythons have come a long way since I kept them as a teenager when they were all wild caught. They grew rapidly. They were stunningly beautiful in their wild caught colours, I will always say that. But at the end of the day, they not only grew rapidly and grew to immensely big sizes quite quickly, being wild caught, they were mostly nervous, frightened, and that translated in loads of aggression. And a reasonable sized reticulated python has immensely sharp, long teeth that really give some good slashing bites. Certainly not the sort of thing you want to get bitten by regularly. But look at this beautiful animal, and only what a shame it's halfway through the shed cycle, so you'll get an update on this animal when its colours are absolutely glowing, because this is as dull and miserable as this snake could possibly look. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this short video. I hope you can see why I changed my mind on this creature in particular. Something very different to what I keep here. Something I never thought I'd keep again in my life is reticulated pythons. And yet here we are. Beautiful, beautiful snake. And have a look up here. We'll pop her away. Have a look up here. She's come with a full enclosure, all her heating. And of course, if you've been watching the videos, have a look through here, Jack, where you got no glass. If you've been watching the videos, you'll know one thing we're going through this year is changing from utilitarian setups exactly like Dale's kept this snake to we're going to start putting backgrounds in, different decor, and making our display animals look much better on display. And that's going to give them a bit more to do, a bit more texture, a bit more interesting. And above all else, with reticulated pythons, a shelf and more climbing ability just gives that, basically you're increasing the floor space of your vivarium. But for her, it's great because she's in the home she came from, exactly how it was. So she's going to settle down absolutely brilliantly. Thanks for watching. Keep watching the channel. And most importantly, click on subscribe if you don't mind.
Why's it got all those holes round its mouth?
Heat pits, senses heat's signature.
Never noticed
Like
that
a pit
before.
viper. Yeah, pythons have it. Most of them do. They sense their prey in the dark by the heat.